Good morning and welcome back to Jody Lewis Creations. In today's video, we are continuing to work on our January project. And so, out of habit, I keep calling it that because this is still September. And I am like, that's what I keep referencing it so that keep using as reference to the project so that way I don't give it away. But this, as you know, is a Christmas present for somebody, so I have to be secretive, and I have to film ahead because I have to have it done before Christmas. But anyway, okay, so this is a digital, and it's literally been weeks since I've touched this project, and I thought, I'm just not in the mood to work on Octuga or whatever. I've squirreled my pumpkins. I did the Halloween project, and this is late in the afternoon for me to even be doing anything, but I have got to make some progress. So I have here one of the digitals, and what I've done is I've cut the white off of 3 sides, and I've left this side because this is going to be my hinge. And then I've scored it in half, and I've reinforced the top on both sides. And the reason that I have done that is because I am going to put a divot in it, or like a thumb notch, so that way when we put something in this pocket, or so that way it indicates that it's a pocket, I guess is the better way to say that. So anyway, so I'm just closing that up. And it may need straightened up. I noticed like when I was trimming the edges off, it was acting weird. So I don't know if I didn't cut it straight, or maybe I didn't fold it straight. It's probably a little bit of both because that's how we roll. So if you're new to my channel, welcome. And if you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for joining me, for your continued support, for your encouragement, and for your love, because I have been feeling the love from you guys this year for sure. Okay, now I will say, because this is September, okay, and so I will try not to talk a whole lot about my life because it's going to be out of context by the time this airs, and by the time this airs, I'm sure we'll be on to other things, and hopefully I'll be able to have some current content for you so that way we can still be like, oh, yeah, that's relevant because it's currently happening, not, oh, you filmed this 4 months ago. What the heck, Jody? So, well, I had a place I wanted to put that, and now I don't remember where it was. So I was thinking, I'm still fussing with this front cover. I think I need to cut a new piece. I don't know. I'm not happy with it. So what I need to do is, oh, here, this will be a good spot. We need to hinge this on a page. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull this out, and I'm kind of getting myself in a pickle with these pages and everything because of how they are, but I'm going to glue this on the edge of here. And the reason I'm going to do that is because this is like ice cream, and I don't care, we're going to cover this. So what this will help do is stabilize the edge of the ice cream page, and it'll be a flip in or out or whatever. Oh, I did not thumb notch that. It's okay, I can still do it real quick before we glue that down. Fortunately, it's barely arts glue in my little bottle and not art glitter glue, because otherwise it would just be a waste of glue. Okay, I'll ink it when we're done. Okay, come on. So, yeah, I hope everybody's doing well. I hope you're sharing in the Facebook group what you're working on. I hope that you're doing something that brings you joy, as this will be airing in January. Of course, it's after the holidays when so many people have hectic lives, whether you celebrate Christmas or an alternative holiday, like, maybe you do Hanukkah, or, it's New Year's just happened. So lots of things that could have you like super tired. Why is that folded like that? I don't know. Did I have that folded weird on purpose? I guess we'll find out. I have to go back and listen to the first 2 videos because it's literally been so long since I've touched this. I cannot even remember what my plan was, but that's good. I do know this is going to be very interactive. I want lots of sewing. We're going to have lots of pieces like this that we're going to be able to play with. It's going to be a lot of ephemera pieces that we have to make, so that's completely fine. I have this piece, which is a Halloween. It is a an envelope from when I did Dumbo, and I think that why is this like this? I know why. I need to cut that. Okay, I need to cut that because that'll be our back piece. So let's do that so I can stop being confused. But I think I'm going to leave that one. So that can be a pocket on the outside of that one. Okay. I'm getting these all out of order again. This is why I number my pages, you guys. So that way, as I do this, I can put them back together in order. Like, I'm not as worried like about the journal pages, the non-book pages. That's why I number the book pages. So that way, when I'm doing this, I make sure I get these pages put back in the order that they need to be in for sure. And then, so I'm going to glue this, so that will be a pocket. So I want to notch this edge here. Wow, I feel like this is one of those moments where my head's super chaotic, and hopefully it's not translating that way in the video for you. Okay, perfect. So then what I want to do is just run my glue on this edge here and this edge here, and that digital's there because we're going to use that for that pocket. And then I think I'm just going to run it just down this edge. I just want to make sure nothing falls through into the spine. Yeah. So just get that lined up there. And by doing that, oops, it's also not a double layer of cardstock in the spine itself. So that helps reduce that spine size as well. And I might need to make just a little bit of an adjustment. I might need to do some cleanup with glue, and that's okay. Those are all things that we do like as we work on the journal. And it's been a really long time since I've done a little golden book journal, unless that's something that I decide I'm going to do for Christmas, but I am not that far yet, which is so weird that I'm doing this in September. I'm talking about Christmas. I'm working on a project for January. The struggle is real, you guys. It's super real. Okay, so that goes there. So then I have this piece, and I'm thinking I want to put this here. I think it'll be a really great pocket for back here. So I have this digital, and I just don't think it printed as nicely as I would have liked it to have printed. So there's a page cover the bottom. It's blurry. Sewing as a page cover the bottom, it's blurry, and I had this attached to this, and it is blurry, but I'm not doing whatever that note says. What I'm going to do is use my tear ruler here, and I'm going to take our edges off. My sinuses have been giving me fits today. The Hurricane Helene remnants were here today. It's gloomy and rainy today, so I guess that tells you kind of when this is as well. Yeah. So my brother's in Kentucky, and he had some damage from it. So that's current events. I said I wasn't going to do that. Sorry. It's habit because I chit-chat with you guys, and oh, I know what I can chit-chat about because this is going to air after. So I'm really excited. Now, mind you, this is the end of September, okay? But I'm really excited because I know what Tracy is doing for Christmas, and so I'm really excited about it. I'm really looking forward to it, and I think it's just going to be so much fun to do it. So I'm sliding this in here, and the reason that I'm doing that is because I want to be able to tear this shape, and I don't know what I do with my pencil. So I'm really excited. I have to be packing for that trip oh my gosh, packing my stuff because I kind of know what I want to do. I think, I have an idea anyway. So that's why I said I'm not sure yet if it's going to be a little golden book project that I do, or just a journal, or what. So there's another collaboration that I was invited to do for December as well, but I definitely know that I want to do the Tracy project for sure. So it'll be interesting because I'm filming this now. So when this airs back, it'll be really interesting to see what it is that I actually decide to do. So I'm talking to my future self. I'm kidding. That sounds really silly, doesn't it? Hey, that's not too bad of a job. Not too bad at all. Okay, so what I want to make sure that all that writing is kind of covered, so I think that's going to be fine. I might take just a smidgen off the bottom here, but not very much at all to maybe not even make it worthwhile. And then we're going to ink around this page. And it's pretty much like, this is blurry, but that's okay because you're not going to see that much of it. And again, in this moment when I'm filming this, I can't remember whose digitals I purchased for this. So yeah, I was really struggling with finding some like barnyard chickens and stuff that would suit the story and the style that I was doing. And I know there was a digital I was looking at that's like country French, and it was really pretty, but it wasn't what I wanted for this particular project. So I didn't buy it, or I should say as of right now, I haven't purchased it. I was really hoping to look in my stuff and find, but I don't have as much as I thought I did. Come on, glue. I don't have as much as I thought I did to help with gathering for this. So I just thought, you know, I'm just going to work with what I have here, see where that leads me. And then if I need more, then I can get more after. So I just want it to be eclectic and full of love, and I don't want to be frustrated because this is for my sweet friend, and I want to make sure that it has nothing but love in the pages for her because she deserves it. She totally deserves it. I just always want to wrap her in a big hug. But anyway, okay. All right. Yeah, I like it. Where's my bone folder? So I'm just going to get that down. And then I do want something for in the back here. But what I'm thinking here is maybe I'll just put a piece of cardstock on the back of this so that it's stable enough to be maybe a back tuck as well. It could be a dual tuck for sure. Why is that like that? Because I didn't cut it straight, did I? Something is not straight, but that's okay. What I will do is just come in here and take just a little bit of that off. Maybe I just cut it wonky. Not that I ever cut anything wonky, you guys. All right, yeah, that'll work. Perfect. And then that's repurposing that envelope as well instead of just throwing it away. So none of these designs are the right direction to go across there, so let me grab a scrap. Okay, so I got my bin here, and we'll just see what we can do with this. And I think I want to I need to add color around the edges as well. And wow, I really wonder, why is that so crooked? Maybe it's optical. Is it just optical? It could be optical. It's not optical. Oh, it's fine. It's gonna be fine. I need to stop stressing. I'm never gonna get done, right? So this could be a pretty piece in there. Yeah, let's do that. Yep, let's do it. I'm just gonna mark it there. Cut it. And then height-wise, I don't need all of that. I did all that to cut that V, and you know what? Do I even want it there? Yes, I do, because I do want it there. Okay, so then I'm just gonna mark this, oops, like that, and cut it. Just to that point. I don't want to go past that point because I don't want it to be funny looking or have that cut in there. You know what I mean? So we're just stabilizing this piece. Yeah. That'll work. Yes, that will work. See that? So now we have just a fun piece here that we can use. We better ink our cardstock so we can just get some interest on there. Don't know why I'm going down the edge there, but I don't need to. Oh, and I do, before I glue this down, I want to get the edge of that envelope just to highlight that, you know, bring it out, give it a little bit of interest, hide that core a little bit. Okay, and so this, I'm going to use my wet glue and hope I can get this in here without messing it up. You don't want to use, well, first of all, I wouldn't use glue stick on this anyway, regardless of if it were book page or just the cardstock, because glue stick isn't going to give you any room to wiggle this at all to get it in there. It like gets stuck down, and same with art glitter glue. So you want to use something like a 3-in-1, or, you know, I'm using the Barely Arts glue, and just gives it just a second so that you can move it and adjust it to have the reveal that you want. So that I was able to get in there, and I think it looks just fine. Just fine. And then what we will do, oops, is find something to put along the bottom of this pocket. Even if that's not enough interest, but we'll see what we have that we can use to put along the bottom of there. Oh my gosh, this is fun digging through my bin because I haven't been in here in so long and I couldn't remember what all I had. So that could be a fun bit along the bottom. We'll find something. It doesn't have to go on there now. That can be part of the process of embellishing it. So let's stencil the back with something. And what do I have handy here? Oh, I really like this. So I'm in the middle of filming this Globland video, so we're going to use this stencil because it's sitting on my desk and I don't have to dig for it. For sure. And so since I already know this looks good with the yellow, we're just going to go with it and just add some interest around the edges. Don't need a whole lot because, you know, our envelope is going to cover, right? And this is almost not a dark enough ink, but I like it, so we're doing it. And of course, it's how heavy-handed you are with it as well. So that makes a difference too. Let's see, is that enough? It is enough. Can't even really see it actually. That's okay. Where did my lid go? I don't know. There it is. So what are you working on? That is something that's universal, regardless of the time and place that I'm filming, as I like to know what you guys are working on. And are you watching anything new that's inspiring you? Do I want that as a double tuck? I think I do. I think I do want that as a double tuck. I do. So yeah, and it's a new year. So if you made New Year's resolutions, do you typically stick with them? Do you typically quit? Like, how do you do with New Year's resolutions? I don't typically make them because I think, you know, if I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. And why wait until the new year to do it? But I know a lot of people think, a lot of people make them. I just have never done it. And I really don't, well, I don't know about this year because it's a different situation with where we're going to be. But I don't even typically celebrate the new year. So I don't know what this year will look like. We'll see. But anyway, yeah. So what are your thoughts on New Year's resolutions? Do you do them? Do you stick with them? Do you make them and then forget about them? How do you do with them? Okay, so I'm going to let that dry. Make sure it's down really well. That gives me options. Now I can make that a tuck. Yep. And I just think that's not dark enough right there. There we go. There, I like that better. All right. Oh, I really like that a lot. Okay, so then we do have to have something here. That's going to drive me crazy, but we'll come back to it. So what I wanted to do here is maybe find an image that will peep through there and stitch around it, and then I can hide it somehow, I think is what I want to do with those. I haven't really decided 100% yet, but that's been kind of rolling around in my head for those pieces. Let's see, we have this, and I don't know why. Was that going to be the card or just the backdrop? Just like a picture on there. Because if it's just a picture, that's kind of cool too. I think I wanted that to be a tuck, and that was going to be our journaling card. So if that's the case, we need something in the background there, don't we? My cellophane's got something stuck to it. Yeah. Oh, I do just like that as the background. Okay. I think I'm just going to use that as the background. So I will attach that to the page. Maybe. Let me think about it. Okay, so I think things are starting to come back to me. Slowly. Oh my word. All right, so I found this image and I like the barn with the windmill and the fence. It's kind of like you're walking up the road to get there, right? So I don't need all of that image because my page is only like so big, right? And so even though I'm going to, let's see, how do I want to do that? Yeah, I only want it to kind of fill this area. So it doesn't have to be like all the way to the top. I just want it to be like a picture in the background. I hope that makes sense. So I'm going to have it where like that brown is at the top of my paper, and then our barn and the windmill is what shows through. So as far as this way, this width doesn't matter to me because it's going to get glued down. What I do need to make sure though is this side that I'm definitely not getting over into that spine. So I think what I want to do is just for now, I'm just going to tear this page in half so I'm not dealing with such a big piece of paper and start from there, right? And then I know I don't need this bottom on here. And I know I don't want this top on here. Do I want that top on there? Before I go getting all excited, tearing things, I better make sure how I want this, right? Now, one thing I could take into consideration is if I bring this up, yeah, see, I don't want that brown. Okay, I don't want the brown poking up above that. So the top of this I'm going to cut with a straight line. I'm not even going to do that with a tear ruler. I just want that straight across like there. And so then the next thing that I have to determine is the best way to attach this to my actual page, because it's going to get attached to this back, not the bag. Does that make sense? It will. Okay, so I want it to be just a little bit more that right there. And, oh, so I need to take more off this edge. Okay, so let me just take a little bit more off of this, because that's peeping out and I don't want it to peek out. All right, so I think actually if I just center that on here, at this point, it's probably going to be about where I want it, right? Pretty darn close. Let me bring this up just a little bit more. Just want to make sure that my wheat bag is pretty even. I mean, across the top here with the design, and it's hard to see with the glare of the light for me. So I'm just trying to manipulate it just a little bit like that. Yeah. So that's where I'm going to want it, okay? So what I think I'm going to do is pray I don't move it. I'm going to glue that a little bit here and start getting it glued down. And I know I still need to stencil. I don't have enough glue in my bottle. I still need to stencil the white area and get rid of that white space, but I'll do that after this is kind of like in place. Now I want to make sure before that gets really glued down that that's where I want it. And it is. I like it. I think it's going to look good. Yeah, hopefully that's straight enough. That's what's kind of making it a little bit more challenging, is getting that straightened how I want it. I think I have eraser glue on that or something. I don't know what that is. And I'll fill this bottle up too in just a few minutes. Okay, I want to make sure that my top and my edges are glued, especially my top, because I'm going to be putting things, you know, in and out of this pocket, and I don't want to have an issue where like things are catching on it. Yeah. So it's just to play with the design. I just like that bread bag so much, and I wanted to make sure that I used it. That is crooked. I thought it was. Dadgummit. It's too late now. I mean, there is nothing I can do about it. It's crooked. It's going to be crooked. Oh, well, hopefully we can mask that somehow. Darn it. It's okay. These things happen, especially when you're trying to line something up as fiddly as this. It's just, it is what it is. But hopefully it won't matter too much once we get this like inked, and yeah, that's not going to matter. That's going to be fine. Yep. And then this side will ink. And then I have to look and see, do I really need to stencil design in here, or is just inking it around those edges going to be sufficient to kind of take back that white space from the cardstock? So let's see what we have on this side. So we need a little bit of something here. Not that big of a deal at all. So I'm going to kind of just bend this backwards a little bit and run my ink dauber down that edge and just knock that back some. And I think it'll be fine. It's going to be fine. Look at that. It's going to be great. Okay, so I think we can glue our bag down now. So I'm going to get the bag glued down. I'm going to back the wheat piece on a piece of this cardstock as the backing. That will be like the back, the journaling side of it, and get that cut out. And got to figure out a pull for it too. But then we'll have a tag in our wheat bag pocket, and it'll be fun. So I have it glued and backed, and I love it. And then I was looking for something for a pull tab, and I have this little scrap that was in things that I got in my 12 Days of Christmas gifts the first year. No, the second year. Last year. No. Christmas of 2023, because by the time this airs, I'll have my gifts for 2024, so I don't want to be confusing. Anyway, and I have this scrap of fabric that absolutely perfectly matches the back of this. So I'm just adding the green, the little scrap of fabric, or excuse me, scrap of paper on top of that scrap of fabric just to give it a little bit of interest. And then I'm going to just do this in such a way that just the little bit of that is on the front side, like so, because I don't want to cover my image, but I need a tab. I want a tab on here. And then I'm going to come over here and just add a little bit of glue to the back side here. Here. Fold that over. And then I'll let that dry. And yes, that is going to stick up over the top of my page, but I'm okay with that. This is my first of many things that I hope are going to stick out and poke out and just be eclectic. Now, did I get that in the center? Not very well, but it's okay. I want it to be eclectic, so I think it's going to be really fun. I was contemplating, I didn't cut that very straight. Just got to trim that just a little bit. And I think I'm just going to take just the smallest of little off these corners, just so that way they're not trying to catch going in and out of that pocket. I almost did them as a ticket shape, but I didn't. And I think I'm still going to stitch around that, but I want it to dry. So that's going to go in that pocket. And so when that pulls out, then you'll see the windmill in the barn, which I think is a lot of fun. But we have this bit, down here, right here, and we need something here. And what I was thinking is, I mean, I have a Tracy label here that says grass, but this is wheat. It's not necessarily grass. So I don't think that's going to work. So I could just put that right there. It's pretty much a perfect fit, isn't it? So did that just give me a solution all by itself? It may have. But I wanted to put something here just kind of as a decorative element on the bottom of that page. Actually, I think I'm going to do it. I think I'm just going to cut this right here in that groove, and then I'm going to use my 3-in-1, and I'm going to just hit the highlighted area, the areas that have the most material on this. And it doesn't take an actual lot of this, but I want to do it like this because I'm trying to not have like all of that shine show that the 3-in-1 is known for doing. And I can dab it. It'll be fine. But I like to kind of have it hidden, if I can have it like not so much, because the glue showing makes me crazy. It really does. It really does. And then if I find a word or a label or something that's appropriate for that, I can still come back and add it. Now, I'll say I don't mind things poking out the sides and the top. That doesn't bother me. What does bother me are things poking out of the bottom. And the reason is because if you go to set this journal on your shelf and you have all this stuff sticking out the bottom of your journal, it makes it really difficult to not damage. And you know, you put all this time and effort into your journal. Do you really want to have stuff that is going to be damaged? Now, that's my personal preference. Of course, I know, and I see so many journals that have beautiful things hanging off the bottom. Beautiful. But I think about the logistics of storing it, you know, and using it. So that's my 2 cents on that. I really like that. And I'm almost thinking that I should cover, oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. Cover the plastic and the lace and maybe get a little bit of gold splatter on there. I think I want to. I've been sneezing all day. Mark has been preemptively saying, bless you, all day. I'm like, I haven't even sneezed yet. But he says, I can tell by the look on your face another one's coming. And I said, yep, that's true. All right, so I'm just going to use my gold Liquitex ink. It's acrylic ink. If you don't have, oh my gosh, I might do it again. If you don't have acrylic ink, you most certainly, let's try that again. I am so sorry. If you don't have acrylic ink, you can most certainly use paint. You can even stencil some gold or stamp some gold just for a little bit of interest, but I'm just shaking it up. And I only have my stamp block here. I really just only want a little bit. And the problem with just a little bit is I have to get my fan brush wet and then just add the gold to it so that I can be able to splatter. It'll be okay, but it just makes it a little bit more interesting when I'm only doing just a little bit of splatter. And why does that feel weird? Okay. So I'm going to do like this side first, I guess. I am going to make a mess. I can see it here. I can see it already. Okay, let that go. And we'll have to let that dry. And I don't mind if I get some on this page. It's not going to hurt anything. I may come back and add. I have to come back and add to that page, so I'm not too worried about it. But that's just going to give a little bit of interest on those pages. So not a big deal. And then I have just a little bit of watery gold on my stamp block there. So I'm thinking, what can I just splatter that on to allow it to dry? That I know I'd like to have some more gold on. So let's just see. Is there anything? Sure there is. Sure there is. Just add it, right? Just add some interest to those background pages, and then we're not wasting that ink. And it's only a little bit, so it's not that big of a deal. So I'll let those dry, set them aside. And then when we come back in the next video, I have no idea what we're going to be working on. I'm hoping to be able to get another video filmed tonight, but I don't know if that's going to be possible or not. So Mark's over at the barn working, and I'm just trying to be productive while he's gone. And like I said, just trying to get through my list of things that I need to do. So, and again, by the time this airs, it's all going to be a moot point, and you guys are going to be like, Jody, that's all old news. So anyway, all right. Well, thank you so much for joining me. Please make sure you're sharing what you're working on over in the Facebook group. It's so nice to see what everybody else is working on, the inspiration. And again, this is September, so like I just did the pumpkin video, and Debbie, you shared your pumpkin card, which was amazing, and it was so cute. I really enjoyed it. So I'm so glad that you shared it. It was wonderful to see your work. Okay, guys, well, have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.